If you're new here, welcome to my channel. This is the very beginning of something great to come. This is the very beginning of my homestead journey. I bought this place last year, 2023, decided to build a Barndominium on it, and I have a lot of work ahead of me still. This is the entire series that you're about to see of the entire build from start to finish. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's pause and go back a year. This is the property that I bought, and when I first got this place, it was in shambles. I mean, there was stuff everywhere, and it's almost easier to show you, so let me just show you real quick. Well, this is what she left me after moving all her stuff out. I give her an extra week, and a lot of pots, growing stuff. And then I got all this. So I guess I'm just gonna start a fire and sort through what's good and what's not. There's some good stuff in here and go from there. So next time you see this, it'll be all cleaned up. The building itself is one of the reasons why I bought this property, because it had a 24 by 24 building on it already, and it's exactly what I needed to pour all my crap in. So the first thing I really had to do was clean up the building, and then I could start focusing on clearing out the property and getting ready for a house. So this is 8.5 acres is what I bought. She used about a quarter acre of the land, which is a square lot, to sell trees and the bushes and all kinds of flowers. And it was really nice when she had it up and running, but just like everybody else after COVID, it's just hard to keep up. And she was doing this as her side business, so she let it go, unfortunately. I think she was really sad to let this place go, but I bought it, and I got a lot of big plans for it, so I don't think she was as sad. And she's come by since to see the place, and she was really happy with it. But, you know, in reality, it really doesn't matter because it's mine now. But still, letting somebody, you know, when you have something that you put all your heart into and you have to sell it, it's sad to do. But I had a lot of work to do here. So I had to first clear out all this area with all the grass and everything. I decided to build a house right on the edge of the lot instead of building in the woods. I got one, but even doing that, I still had a lot of woods to cut down. I got 6 of these things left. I gotta get out of the ground. So this one's, I started digging it out with a shovel, and that's the only way I've been able to get them out so far. I've tried using a jack and starting to jack it up in with like a board. That doesn't work. You can kind of rock them. I mean, you can see I've started digging this one out. Let's see if I can get this one out. It's in there good. So you get one of the notches underneath of it. In this case, it's about a foot away. And then once you do that, you just pull on it. Holy shit, this one's in there fucking good. So I've very quickly learned that things are going to be a lot harder than I expected. Even just getting those posts out of the ground, you can see where the old those are posts from the old fence that I had there. And basically, right where I'm standing right now is where my front porch is going to come out to, the concrete and the upper deck. So I had to clear all that out of there. And eventually, that little wooden structure that she had there for shade trees, for shade plants, I ended up tearing that down way later on, but I was after construction. So they kind of had to just deal with that in the meantime. But I originally bought the place because it had the nice gravel lot, which is really nice. I saw a lot of potential there. And it had a 24 by 24 building on it, which I was extremely happy with because I got a lot of stuff, and everyone needs somewhere to put their stuff. And after getting everything cleaned up, it was time for the official groundbreaking. That's right, with my golden shovel that I have there. And as you can see, I got everything cleared out, or I thought I had everything cleared out enough where I could build a house right where the little green area is on the edge of the property where I thought I was going to build my house. And I thought that was enough area that was cleared out. There's a 40 by 60 house. And after I cleared all of that out, a week later they came out and they ran the water lines, and the plumbers came out and put all the pipes in for everything that's going to be plumbed in eventually, and they poured a bunch of gravel and got everything squared up and ready for concrete. And I think even after doing all that, it only took another day, and the concrete guys came out and they poured the house part first, just because. Well, I don't really know why, but they did the house portion separate, which is a 20 by 40 area. And getting out there and looking at this is a lot different than have everything on paper. So I bought these plans originally from a guy on YouTube called Create 208, and he does a house walkthrough tour. And you look at all these plans on paper and stuff, and then once you really get out there, you're like starting to see things and actually be able to visualize all these ideas you've had, which is a whole different concept. And you're starting to see things in reality. It's like, okay, well, I can do this. This is how big it is. Okay, everything's a lot different once you actually get things in person. But they came out, the septic guys came out, and they were worried that I didn't own enough land. Well, I said, I own 3 acres on that side of the house. You can do whatever you need to. So they cleared out all of this land, which is fine by me, but they cleared it out for my septic, because you got to have I think 400-foot lines or something like that for the sewage or for the septic system. And the new construction with these, after they poured the garage, they don't do the garage like a typical 2x4s. They do 6x6 posts, and instead of using 6x6s, they use 3 2x6s, and then they join them together. And then that way it's cheaper for everybody. They can, instead of having the whole thing being pressure treated, the whole 6x6 post, they can just get away with just doing the bottom portion. And then that's up to code. And that's really all you need, because that's the only part of the wood that comes in contact with the ground. And that's just how they do it now. It's just a lot cheaper. The rafters are all built differently now. Everything's built differently than people are used to seeing. I think anywhere after 2010, things have been redesigned and redone. So a lot of people that are used to older construction have come out and said, well, this isn't how I've never seen this before. It's like, well, that's just how they do it now. And one thing I am happy with, the deck, instead of using typical decking wood, they used like 6-inch wide decking wood, which makes the deck look a lot nicer. But the whole house itself is 2x4s, which is standard. But the garage is 6x6 post, and then they run these horizontal boards in between them, and everyone's saying it's going to fall down, but it hadn't fallen down yet. And that's how they build them. The Amish built this house. So I would say the Amish know what they're doing as far as building. They built the entire thing, most of it off-site. They brought it on. They paid somebody to bring it in here, and then they assembled it all. And I think they used cranes for the upper part. But other than that, they did everything. They had a guy climb up there and in the rafters, which is almost 30 feet in the air, and nailed it all together for me. So I paid them to do everything, the siding, the deck, everything, the concrete, the plumbing, all the heavy lifting stuff, the main electrical, because I'm not licensed to do that, even though I tried to, but they wouldn't allow me just to take the test. I had to have 6 months on the job training and blah, blah, blah. So everything that I couldn't do myself physically or legally up to code, I had to pay somebody to do. And concrete I could do, but that's just something that's worth me paying somebody to do, to make it look good. And I don't know exactly if it was the Amish or who did the concrete. I don't think it was the Amish. I think someone else did the concrete, but man, it came out really, really nice. And there's not a single crack in it in the whole garage. I am so impressed. But everything else I'm going to do on the inside, all the interior stuff, the flooring, the painting, all the electrical fixtures, all the plumbing fixtures, I'm going to do that myself, and I've never really done it, so it's all going to be an experiment. But drywall is something else I paid to do. I think they had a team come in and do that, but up to the drywall is where they left it for me. And I will tell you, everything took me a lot longer to do than I thought it would. So this is the Eccentric Homestead. Welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy the build so far. This is a build from Create 208 on YouTube. You can buy his plans just like I did. And the rest of the videos I want to be putting out are going to be me finishing off the interior of the house and trying to figure out what I'm doing along the way. And then after that, I got all kinds of exciting things I'm going to be building. And I got plenty of space to do it and plenty of tools, getting everything laid out. So I really hope you enjoy it, and I'm I will be releasing new episodes every Wednesday as far as I can. So hit subscribe and welcome to the Eccentric Homestead.